Hi everyone, I thought it would be fun to have a go at a little page from Miniature Secret Garden by Johanna Basford. Now this page is in the large version of the book as well, so you may have that page, but I've just got the miniature book, so that's what I'm going to do. I thought I would just have a go and get going really. I'm going to use my Staedtler Ergosoft pencils because they can sharpen to a nice fine point. They're fairly hard, and so they will work nicely, I feel, on this small design. I'm going to start with the trunk of the tree, which is why I have zoomed in down here, and I'm starting with 77, which is the darkest brown in the 36 set of Ergosofts that I have. You can use any brown that you have really. I like to start with the dark edge to the tree, which is what I'm doing. I'm now going to go back up and darken that edge even more and sort of fade it across. The sun is making its way across my book. I suspect that by the end of this video I'm going to have to shut the blind, but we'll persevere at the minute with me struggling to see. I can see really, it's just a little bit glary. It's okay. So I'm trying to do a nice hard line along the edge there, and then just a few less layers in towards the centre of the tree trunk. And we'll go, let me see, how much can you see? This is where I struggle, I can't see what you can see in the camera. A little bit at the bottom of each of those branches, there and there. Now throughout this tree, I'm just looking, we have some branches here in the middle, which I'm going to do as well. Let's pull down. Most of the branches are just a fine black line, so we can ignore them. But here we have a thicker bit. I'm pretty sure that is supposed to be part of the trunk of the tree there. Then we have these branches coming up here, and I'm going to make these just quite dark because they're thin. There's not much else I can do with them, so it keeps it nice and simple. You could go in and use a few colours, but really I think that's getting a little bit too finicky on such a detailed bit. So that bit I'm going to leave. I've grabbed the slightly lighter shade of 76, and I'm just going to complete the centre of the trunk. So basically filling in the gaps really. I'm going to try and continue, particularly on this bit, with keeping darker near the edge and lighter towards the middle, so it gives us a lighter bit down the middle of the tree trunk, which looks a little bit like a glow, and it helps to add shape, I think. It's a slightly warmer brown, I reckon. It's pretty. I'm not leaving any white in the middle. I don't want it to look like it's metal. It is a tree trunk. It can be shiny, but not, you know, not metallic-y shiny. Now, of course, this tree trunk has got lots of intricate patterns on, and I've completely ignored them. That's because, oh, sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm okay. That's because it's too intricate, it's too small. Now on the tree we have flowers, we have leaves, we have owls. So we're going to do a little bit and see how we get on really. Now my favourite two greens are these two, which I am going to use for the leaves. Number 57, and I think this is the number below 56, yes. And what I'm going to do for every leaf, I'll show you on these plain ones, is do the base of the leaf in this one, in the darker one, like that, and then the tip in the lighter one. I'm going to keep all the leaves the same across the whole tree. You don't have to do that. I just rather like the consistency because we have got a few other things going on. Now the flowers, excuse me. Now with this colour of green, I rather think that oranges go quite well, and that's what I'm going to do for my flowers. I'm going to keep it quite warm, should we say, because we've got to do our little owls and our owl boxes as well. So we've got all these sort of warm colours that I'm thinking of introducing. The flowers are going to be, I'm wondering whether to do, we've only got the one owl box which is here. I'm going to do the owls first before I make a decision on the flowers. I've changed my mind. So we have number 73. It's looking quite dark on this camera. I'm wondering it's because the sun's out, the light's adjusting and it thinks it's really bright. So anyway, number 73, and I'm going to do that for the owls. Let's come in a little bit closer so you can, well, that's as close as I go. We've got an owl here. Now they're really small, so I think I'm just going to fill them all in with this colour, like that. You could do them grey. I just quite wanted a warm palette, and this one is so small I can barely see it. We got a larger one here though, which I will bring into the centre, and I'm just going to go around it really in this colour. This book is tricky if you have got the miniature version and your eyes aren't brilliant. It's going to be a bit of a tricky one. I'm doing the wings a little bit darker just by pressing a bit harder, to be honest. And I'm going to fade down to the bottom of the tail like that. He looks quite orangey, doesn't he, in this brown? But I think it will all come together and work. I haven't done the beak or the feet. I'm going to do those in a bright colour. Can you see this guy? Yeah. So, yeah, they look a bit orangey, but it's okay. I don't want to go with the darker brown because that's the colour of the tree trunk. Maybe you could do them in reverse if you'd rather have a darker owl. As I say, you can do them in grey. Owls are in grey. Do come in grey. I mean, they are in grey. What am I saying? And we had this little chap all out of the lines. Never mind. We don't worry about that. I just went to get some chocolate. It was rather nice. I used the excuse that the dark chocolate is full of antioxidants to have a bit. I think people use that excuse to also have a glass of red wine. But I'm not a big fan of alcohol, so I don't drink it. It's not. At one point we had some red wine and that we sort of using up, and I was thinking, oh, I should have it because it's so good for me. And then I thought, actually, I don't think actually that doctors recommend that. They say if you don't normally drink, don't start having it. There are other ways to get your antioxidants. I have red grapes, so I get it through that, and I have lots of veg and fruit. Well, not a big variety of fruit, but a big variety of veg, so I get lots of antioxidants, so it's not really a problem. So I'm really doing quite loose colouring here, nothing too technical. It's very small, so it's really just a matter of trying to stay in the lines, which is always a challenge for me. But there we go. And last one. Oh, there he is. He's cute, this one, isn't he? And again, I'm trying to do his belly a little bit lighter than his wings like we did on the other side. There's room on this one. The others are a bit too small. That one looks like he's done in a dark brown. It's really weird. Anyway, so there are our owls, and they're looking quite dark, like light, quite orangey. I'm very tempted to go over them with a darker brown, but I'm going to wait and see. Now we've got our little bird box in the middle, which... I know. I'm going to use number 76 and do it lightly. And so it will look like wood without looking too dark, and I'll go over it with number 49. Oops. And then it'll be a sort of mix of the two colours. That's good. Happy with that. Now I'm going to do all the beaks and feet and things in number 16. I also think this is quite a goldish type colour. So I'm just going to check you're in short. Beak, beak, feet. Can barely see those. Beak, feet. Now I can see, now I put in my head a bit closer how much I've missed on these owls around their eyes and stuff. Now their eyes is a tricky one. I'm thinking I'm going to do them this colour, because I can go right over the top of what I've coloured, because it's a really similar colour, and so they'll get done. Now owl eyes are normally great fun to do, but these are so small we can't really do much more with them apart from just colouring over them. Okay, I am going to grab 73 again and just tidy up a little bit. I have to get a bit closer. All his feet. The colours are quite close, aren't they? So it's not really stand out is that different. I think it's okay. I've got his feet too. I think you were out of shot, weren't you? Quite a lot of time, I'm sorry. There we go. Right, now I think the best thing to do is to do all the leaves before deciding on what to do about the flowers. So, as I said before, 57 for the darkest bits, and basically you just colour it in dark at the end and fade it towards the tip, and it's really easy and quick. And with small leaves like this that are all very close together, it's a lot easier to do them all the same colour. Now you could decide you don't want to do that, and that's absolutely fine. That's your decision, and it probably looks better if they're not all the same colour, but I'm all for ease on this one when it's so small. This is quite a quick picture to do. I've got a few left in this book to do. I've sort of got about 40 plus left in this book, I think. So I'm more than halfway. I'm looking forward to sort of doing a flip through for you, but I've got to finish it first. I have done before for some books the sort of what I've done so far, but I'm not going to do that in this one because, oh, my neighbour's playing the piano. I'm just going to shut the doors. As lovely as it is to hear him playing, I'm not allowed to have music on my videos. He was playing earlier and then he stopped. He must have had a little coffee break, but it's nice to hear him play. I haven't heard him playing for a while. He tends to not play scales and things like that. He just plays songs, which I think is rather nice to listen to compared with someone practicing. I realise it's not the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to practice your scales and your finger exercises and practice a little bit of a song that you struggle with over and over, but he doesn't do that. He just plays whole songs through, which is probably the way I would do it. I used to play. I didn't have a piano. When we were growing up, we had a sort of electric organ. My dad likes having a sort of rhythm and different voices and things, rather than just a piano. He finds it more flexible. And I used to play. Didn't have any lessons. My dad taught me. And then once you know a little bit, you can self-teach, I think. We had theory books and things, so it was quite fun. I wasn't that good. Found 2 hands hard, just one hand playing a tune. I always preferred to sing though. My sister used to play, I used to sing, or my dad would play and we both sing. Don't do that anymore. Now we've got the children, we tend to play games instead. If we visit my parents, they would not find that fun, singing. My boys will play still, even though they're 16. And actually my niece does too, and she's 20. Her girlfriend played with us one time, that was nice. Oh, they're the same age. They were in the same year at school, that's right. And so that's always fun. My nephews are a bit younger, they always join in. They're, what are they, 10 or 11? Something like that. I can never remember. And my other niece doesn't tend to play. She's the same age as my boys. She wants to be on her phone chatting to her boyfriend or her friends. But anyway, we have a bit of fun. But she does play badminton. My dad has a little badminton court in his garden. It's not a full-size thing, but he just has a net and it's got all the rackets and shuttles and things, and they play, which is good. As long as it's not too wet or too sunny. My one son likes beating everybody. Very competitive. I don't know where he gets that from. That wouldn't be me. I am so competitive. I think we grew up in quite a competitive family. My dad is anyway. My mum really dislikes playing games with any of us because we always want to all win. We play, so you play so hard, you always want to win. It's like, well, my dad sort of brought us up with the thought that the sun's coming across, isn't it? I'm just going to shut the blind. He sort of brought us up with the attitude that there's no point in doing anything just for fun. You need to win or sort of do really well at it. And I hope that's okay. The camera will be adjusting and the light for a minute. So it was sort of like, you know, you play to win. That's what you play. It's not about having fun. So that's how he was sort of brought up. But it's quite good when it comes to things like work and business and things. You know, I run my own business. I want to do well, I want to be successful. I don't just do it for fun. As like my YouTube channel as well, I'm always setting myself little goals, you know, certain amount of subscribers or different things like that. And although I do it because I want to show people what fun colouring is, have fun, chatter, that sort of thing, I still sort of want to do well, you know. So it means that I sort of do the sort of promotional side as well. So number 56, I'm going to go over every leaf again and finish off the tips. So yeah, I sort of publicise the videos and things like that because I want people to watch them. I think it would be a bit pointless if no one was watching at all, or very few people were watching. So it does make it worthwhile, and you know, as well as wanting to sort of increase viewers, etc. It's nice just to know that more people are being encouraged, I hope, to do more colouring, which I think is important. Now I think what I'm doing now with these leaves, I'm going to miss some, I'm sure, but I shall do my best. But with a competitive nature, it makes it quite difficult to be laid back about things. So when I go out of the lines and things like that, it's taken me a lot of time to come to terms with the fact that that is just going to happen, and I've got to be chilled about it. So it always goes against my nature. But when I was at university, actually, I did a lot of reading of self-help books and things, and it sort of taught me about calm and relaxation and things like that, which were really important and helping me, you know. So now I try to have, you know, enjoy as well as win. So it's good. I'm learning that I think through art you learn that there's always going to be someone better than you, always, in your opinion. Other people might not think so, but you will. You're always going to be self-critical. You're always going to see things that you could do better and improvements that could be made, but you have to chill. You have to think, well, I could spend 10 years working on this one picture and try and make it perfect, and it never will be, or I can stop when I think it's done and move on, but apply what I've learned to my next one. And that's what I try to do. I think I wouldn't want to spend 10 years on one picture. Firstly, if you kept fiddling with the paper that long, you'd go through the paper. There is a limit to how many layers of pencil you can add to a page before you, even with the best quality paper in the world. But you get very bored, wouldn't you? So I just have to, you know, be secure within myself, know that it's okay. I think I've also got very thick-skinned, so that has helped me cope with a lot of things that are thrown at me in life now. I've been bullied when I was at school and in a job, and it's sort of helped me to become more resilient. I was determined not to make myself feel like a victim and like I was had suffered. I wanted to learn from it. As I got older, as a child, you don't think in that way, of course, and so it's helped me to develop a resilience. So when I feel like someone is attacking me, bullying me, criticizing me, I try and think about it from a different point of view. Why are they saying this? Why are they being like that? You know, I've had people trolling me online, saying things, you know, and I just think, well, they must be very insecure in themselves, perhaps, or they're doing it because they think they're being helpful, you know, one or the other. I've decided now, I have completed the leaves. As I say, there's going to be some that I missed. I'm absolutely sure of it. Red. I'm going to go for some red. I think that will work. Now, if you've got the Ergosoft set that's only got 24, use number 2. I'm going to use number 29, which is the red. Number 2 is an orangey red, and I think that would work too. Now I'm going to do the whole flower, including the centre, in the same colour. I think learning from doing those owls and trying to get their beaks a different colour, which barely shows up, I'm not going to try to put the centre of the flowers in a different colour to the petals. It's just too tricky. I'm not even going to really worry about trying to do any shading. I'm just going to block them in because I want them to stand out. Oh, my phone's ringing. Oh, I am back now. It was a scammer calling, trying to get me to, saying that someone had made a purchase on my credit card, and I don't know what they were going to try and do, but I just tried to keep her on the phone as long as possible. I always think it's rather nice to try to stop them ringing somebody else, you know, who might be fooled by it. Because she said, oh, well, you've got a charge going off your Visa card. I was like, well, I haven't got a Visa card. And she said, yes, but it's your card. I was like, and she said, no, it's your bank card. I was like, But, and it was for some software. And I said, oh, what software? And she said, some software. And she gave me a name of a company. And I said, I said, oh, okay. And then I asked her if it was a game, and she said, no, it's software. And I couldn't make her understand that a computer game would be software. She didn't seem to have a grasp of that. And then she told me, she said, oh, but it has been done not in your name. And I'm like, what name? And she gave me a software company name, and I said, you mean they've made a purchase off my card? And then she went silent, so I obviously asked too many questions. But if I have time, I try to keep them on the phone for a long time, just to try and stop other people being scammed. There's a lot going around in the UK at the minute, particularly ones saying you've had a parcel delivered and you need to pay some money to have it re-delivered. And my dad got caught out on one of those because he was due a parcel. He didn't know what delivery company it was coming through. It hadn't arrived the day before, and it said they tried to deliver it. He was out, so he was completely fooled, and he paid the money. And he told me, luckily, and I said to him, look, no parcel company charges for redelivery. It's not a thing that ever happens. I said, it's been a scam. And so he cancelled his bank card. But he said no money had been taken out, and he was really confused. He thought they would have done. But fortunately, it's such a shame that people do this. I know it makes some people really angry. For me, I feel that the people who set up the companies, who are really rich, they're pretty horrid. But the people who work for them, I feel they're quite desperate. I don't know if they even know that they're scamming people sometimes, or if they do, they just really need the money. You know, I've just found a leaf that I missed. So I don't let myself get angry about it. And I know there's a fantastic YouTube channel called Scammer Payback who tries really hard to help people, which I think is brilliant. Now we have a finished tree. There we go. Now I could do a background for this, but because the colours, particularly the green, doesn't really stand out hugely, I think any background would actually fade that back and it wouldn't look as vibrant as it does against a white background. So although that sounds like I'm copping out of doing a background, I'm not going to do one. We have this little bit at the bottom though, which looks like grass. Could do a little bit of green there, but I actually think if I did just that little bit, it might look like I need to do the whole thing. So I'm not going to touch it anymore. I'm going to leave it there. So there's just a little tree for you. I hope that was okay. I'm off now to watch some tennis. I hope you have a good day and go and find something fun to do as well. Thank you so much for watching, and happy colouring.